So let's get started by introducing ourselves, right? Who wanna go first?
I like my internet connection is not really good. I don't know why.
Okay, let me start.
Okay, good.
So my name is Annie, and I got my bachelor degree in Yerevan Bristol State University of Languages and Social Sciences. So majoring in teaching English. I have about 5 years of teaching experience working with different age groups like kids, teenagers, adults, and I just got my master's degree in higher education. So feel free to ask any questions if you have.
Cool. So, JJ?
Yeah. Is it my time?
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. So hi, my name is Yamsara. Like you just can call me Yams. I'm from Indonesia. Yeah. I'm an English language teacher. I'm an ELT teacher. That's it.
Uh, okay, for me, most of them have already known me. So I am Kim Wen Waton, yeah, a teacher in an education college in Myanmar. Uh, I I am still in the same class with JJ, pursuing my PhD degree, and now Annie has become my old classmate. So let's start. Okay. Okay, JJ is your friend in the comment section. Mimi, can you see the comment?
No? Where am I supposed to see it?
It's
Is
on
it
the
in the
right side
Facebook
of
Live?
the.
Oh, no.
No,
No?
no, no. It's still in the StreamYard. It's on the right side.
I just see the. Wait a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see that.
It's our frenemy.
Yes.
So shall we start? Shall we start with the first question?
Mm, yeah, but shall we wait for JJ?
Okay, good.မေးချင်တာရှိရင် comment ထဲမှာမေးလို့ရပါတယ်နော်။ English လို့မေးဖို့အဆင်မပြေလဲမြန်မာလိုမေးပါဘာသာပြန်ပြီးသူတို့ကိုမေးပေးပါမယ်။听不懂了。
对。
She's back. So, JJ, shall we start with the first question? Let me read the first question.
Okay.
Okay. If we are going to study abroad, which language is spoken mainly in the class? English or native language of the country we are studying at? So, who
Okay,
wants to
so
answer first?
let me start. As JJ has some
Okay.
connection problems, so well, it of course depends on the program you are applying for. So if you are applying for English third program, then it's totally fine just to be proficient in English. But then if you are trying to learn the native language, that's totally fine. And I think most of the programs provide you with the opportunity to take some preparatory classes before you will start your major. Well, for the classes, when we take the English language programs, it's totally fine. Yet I will definitely advise everyone, if you're studying abroad, try to study the local language, because language is always key towards the culture. So if you know that language, you have easier access to the culture. So yeah.
So, what about you, JJ? What's your answer for this question?
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, again.
Sorry, like really sorry. Like it's really expectation that my connection is really bad for this kind of application because I'm used to using like Zoom, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams. So yeah, but it's okay. I hope like the recording will be like clearer than what I hear because guys, I cannot hear your voice pretty well. All right, is it the first questions?
Yeah, the first question.
Hmm?
Yeah, we're talking about the first question.
Maybe you
Okay, the
should
first
drop the
question
question
that
in the chat.
Which
uh
language is spoken mainly in the classroom if we are studying abroad? English or native language of the country we are studying at?
okay, like the native language in China, right? Not my native language.
Sure.
We lost her again.
Okay, she's gone again. Okay, she's gone.
But it just the apps kicked me out.
Maybe it hates you. Maybe it hates you. So I will
Can
answer the
anyone
question.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So can you start giving your answer for the first question?
Should I move to another place for a better connection?
That'd be better, I think.
Right, let me find.
So while you're moving to another place, I will give my answer to the first question. And yeah,
Oh my god.
I
I gotta
agree with
move.
Annie.
Well, okay,
I
okay.
agree with Annie, and I also think so that it's always a good idea to study the language of the country that we are studying at.
What
For
about
example,
now?
like China, it's better, DJ. For example, like in China, we have two programs. Like in one program, the medium of instruction is English, and in another program, it is Chinese. So it's totally up to you which program you are choosing. If you are choosing to study with English program, yeah, of course, the medium of instruction in the classroom will be English, or it will be Chinese if you are choosing another program. So, JJ.
Oh my
Okay.
god. She's again off.
I have already
Thank God.
moved. I hope this is the best connection this year. I hope.
Yeah, but we can't see you.
Okay.
But we
Oh,
can
okay,
all
okay, we
hear
can, we
you.
can.
Yeah. Please answer the first question. Oh my God.
Oh my god, she's so funny.
Do you like my hat?
We do.
Please answer the first question.
Like I
You
cannot
don't
hear you
answer.
guys.
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't think we
finally
can
I
hear you.
can finally I can hear you guys. Like, I think
Ah,
here is the best place.
yeah. I will type to her.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay, she's going again.
It's crazy. Like it's log out itself and then come again. Like suddenly log out and then I need to click again to come in and then log out again. Okay, but it's okay.
It's okay now.
I'm ready
The
for the call. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah, it looks you have a better connection now. Yeah. So what's your answer for the first question?
Okay, for the first question, like it's the native language is my native language or native language in China?
In China,
No, yeah, in the country where
like
you are
in the
studying.
country you study.
Oh, okay. During the class, I speak English with my classmates, but when I have to sit beside my countrymates, I speak my native language, which is like no, not really native language, but vernacular. That's why I really like sit not beside my countrymates. Like classmates, but not countrymates.
Okay. Shall we move on to second question?
Second question.
No, let me read out first. Let me read out first. Um,
Oh my
if
god,
we are
this camera
applying
makes me
for
like so confused.
if we are applying for the scholarships, how can we impress the interviewer?
Ah,
How can we give our best answers to the interviewer?
yeah. I gave the answer already.
Okay, let me
Okay.
start. All right, until.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You start
Okay,
again.
Yeah.
so I believe like if you're applying for a scholarship, you already have some academic skills somehow different from other applicants. And during the interview, I think the best thing you can do is just concentrate on your personality, like try to stress the strengths that you have in your personality so that the interviewer will somehow get interested into your personality, and then after that maybe they will expect to see you again, and accepting you is of course the best chance of seeing you again, right? So I guess it's all about your personality and personal strengths.
Right. JJ?
Well, this is for the interview process, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm, well, to me, like it's okay. Like it's okay to tell the interviewer about your weakness. Still, that you have the way how to solve your weakness. Like for example, maybe your weakness is kind of what is that? You cannot do a very detailed analysis, but you also tell the interviewer that you have the problems how to solve it. So there is like why not telling the truth? Just be yourself. The key is just be yourself. Do not talk something like the way try to sweeten the interviewer by telling something that is like so good, like it's like something that is too good, it's illogic. Something that is too bad is also illogic. So just be yourself. Like
Yeah,
if you
I agree
cannot,
with
then
that. And
yeah.
sometimes, like your personal weaknesses can become your strengths, especially in the
Yeah.
interview, because the interviewer is also a person, and they might get interested even in your weaknesses. So being honest and
That's the point.
trying to be somehow interesting.
So
Yeah, that's the
in
point. Like when we understand, people always think that it's important to tell our strength to other people. But then, like it is now very important, like very, almost rare people understand their weakness. When you do understand your weakness, you know how to overcome, you know how to solve it, right? When you can understand, like, okay, my weakness is this, and then how to solve this weakness, I have to do something like this. Okay, that's it. So
so
that's why
in
it's okay
conclusion,
to tell your weakness.
when we are going to be interviewed, we have to, of course, describe our strength as well as our weakness, but we have to
Yeah,
know how to overcome our weakness. So this is
that's
the
right. That's
conclusion.
right. That's right. That's right.
Very good, very good. So another question.
Don't laugh at my head. This is the
No,
iconic
no,
thing.
I'm not. I like it.
No,
I
Like
do.
because
it.
I
that
do.
little evil laugh at my head.
No, seriously, I like it.
Okay. I don't know what people are gonna react on me.
They will probably be
Okay.
laughing, but don't worry, our discussion is very informal.
All right. All right.
So another question is, uh, which level of proficiency should an English language teacher have? For example, if she is teaching the primary level, which level of proficiency should she have? Or secondary level, university level? Like, what's your opinion for this question?
Annie
Okay,
may be gonna answer first.
okay.
I will.
Okay, let me share with you the experience from my country. Like in Armenia, if you're an English language teacher, you're expecting to have advanced level of English, no matter you are working with kids with primary school, secondary, or no matter who you are working with. You're supposed to have advanced level of English because we have very limited amount of vacancies, and usually, well, employers are going for the best option. So in terms of the language teaching, you are expecting to have advanced level of language, and I kind of agree with that because very often you are not teaching what you want to teach, but sometimes you will, as a teacher, you are asked a lot of questions, right, from students. And I bet most of us, like as a teacher, me myself, I really want to be ready to answer all the questions of my students, though I understand that it's totally impossible to answer all the questions, but at least we need to avoid being in this kind of situations very often, because of course from time to time it's totally okay to be asked the questions that you're not able to answer, and it's totally fine, because especially for us, we are English teachers but we are not native speakers, and it already makes things kind of complicated, and it's totally fine not to know some stuff. But at the same time, there are things you're supposed to know, and I believe that if you are an English language teacher, then you are kind of expected to have advanced level of language with some kind of exceptions.
Right, right.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So, which one should I answer? Like, there are two procedures that if you have to follow. Like here in Indonesia, we have the every level of education they have a different criteria. Like at least for primary and then secondary teacher, English teacher, they should graduate from bachelor degree, and then for high school and then university, like the teacher should have graduated from master degree. But let's don't care about it. Like if we are really into to be a teacher, like no matter what teacher, can be like mathematics teacher or English teacher, so you just need to get as high as possible the quality of the subject that the quality of mastering subject that you teach, because it's gonna be like good for your future career. Because to me myself, like I don't know why, like it's really important to always upgrade our knowledge. It's not only about the skill that we have to master in English, but it's more than that. So if you ask me like what kind of English proficiency that we have to master, then it should be like as high as possible that you can do.
Right. Like in my
But
country, we
maybe
have
at
a.
least it's like advanced level.
Mhm. In my country, at the education college, we have a textbook for student teachers, and in the book, it is mentioned that if we are gonna teach the primary level, at least you should have the level of a secondary teacher. You should have the proficiency that is equivalent to the secondary level. Uh, when I saw that, I was a bit shocked because, yeah, according to my knowledge as an English teacher, we should be as proficient as possible, right? So no matter
Yes.
how young the
Why,
children
when it's the time, when it's the time for me to speak, the signal is not there. When you guys speak, I can hear you very clearly. I hate it.
it's just not your day. Sorry. So yeah, in conclusion, it's always better to be expert both in the language and the teaching method as a teacher. So yeah, another question. So just stay like that. The connection is better here. Just stay like that. Don't move.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying. I'm trying to find the best signal. You know.
So next question is it possible to learn two languages at the same time?
Okay. When it's time to answer, she disappears. So I'm gonna start again.
Seems like she's running away.
Okay. So to be honest, I had the kind of experience of studying two languages at the same time.
Mhm.
Okay, she came
Let
back.
me talk first. Let me talk because I get a good signal now. Can you talk later? And I take now the
Okay.
chance.
All right, go ahead. Jeja, why
Okay.
aren't you talking?
So yeah. Is it possible like for us to learn two languages at the same time? Yeah, why not? Like for me myself, I learned two languages at the same time in Indonesia because I have my vernacular language which is called Japanese. I speak Japanese at home, and then at school I speak Bahasa Indonesia. So I learned two languages at the same time. That means that I acquire, not learn. I acquire two languages at the same time. When I have ever read about the theory of languages, second language acquisition, it says that it is also possible for someone to learn not only the first language, not only mother language, but also foreign language at the same time with more than one or more than two languages at the same time. You know, only if, for certain people, they have a very good LED, language acquisition device. This is a kind of a device that we have on our brain when we are gifted, but this one is gifted. When someone is gifted with a very high quality of LED, they can learn a lot of languages that we call it as polyglot. But then, if we are not someone who is gifted with a good or a very high LED, we can still train ourselves. We can learn the languages. But yeah, maybe the effort should be more harder, like a lot harder than someone who has a high quality of LED. So, but the point is that still it is very possible for us to learn languages like two, three languages at the same time. Okay.
So Mimi.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with Jeja. So I also believe that it's possible to learn two languages, two or even more languages at a time. From my personal experience, I was studying Russian and English at the same time. So I have to say that, well, my concentration was more on English. That's why in the end, I ended up with better knowledge of English rather than Russian. But from my personal experience, I would say that it's possible. I have to accept that there are some people who are more gifted compared to others, and for them it's easier to get the languages compared to the other ones. But in the end, I also believe that, like, if you are really willing to study language and you have enough dedication towards your goal, then I guess it's really possible to study two, even three languages at a time, as long as you put enough hard work and dedication.
Okay, yeah, here I have a
Yeah, yeah.
question, Mimi. Like when you said you were learning English and Russian at the same time, do those two languages have the similar things like
Proficiency.
literature,
Proficiency.
literature, grammar patterns or some stuff like that? Because
No, I would say that no, and Russian is a lot more complicated compared to English, especially in terms of grammar. So I don't know why in the end I ended up with better knowledge of English rather than Russian. Maybe because Russian was a lot harder than English, but at the same time I spent a lot more time on English rather than Russian. So I don't know which reason prevails.
yeah, for this question, I have
Well, can I interrupt something? Can I interrupt something? Well, when we talk about language, I actually, like, all languages exist in this world. They have the same roots, the same structure that we call it as a universal grammar. Or yeah, it is called as a universal grammar. But when it comes to the very specific things, so it's going to be like different. But at least we have to understand that in every single sentence, no matter what languages is said, they will consider at least subject and predicates only. We have to understand, like, okay, when it is like comes to Bahasa Indonesia, subject goes to be like what, and then when it comes to English, when it comes to Russia, when it comes to Burmese, when it comes to any other languages like Chinese. So how it's gonna work? Like the location. I mean, what is that? How the structure of the grammar, kind of like that. But it is written like based on the theory. They do agree that all the languages have the same. They call it as a universal grammar.
Okay. In some cases, like for example, English and Chinese, we know that they have really different names in the sentence structure. Like for example, if we say, "Okay, I'm coming now," or "I'm coming immediately," we use the time phrase at the end of the sentence, right? But in Chinese, we put the time phrase after the subject. Like for example, 我马上来, 马上 means immediately. So still there are some differences. So to this question, from my point of view, I would say that it's possible to learn two languages at the same time, but it's better to learn another language when you have a solid foundation of the first foreign language. For example, if you are learning Chinese and English at the same time, learn English
For
first.
some kids even, when we are trying to teach our kids using, like, be bilingual or multilingual or polyglot since a very young age. If the kids is not gifted with a high quality of LED or language acquisition device, or if the kids competence or communication competence is not ready yet, then it causes a speech delay. It causes the children to get barriers in speaking, because it's called as speech delay, and the kids get confused what kind of language she or he has to use. But then again, it comes back again to ourselves. Like, we have to identify, like, do we have a good enough language competence or not? Do we have, like, are we ready to put more effort or not? But still, it is possible to say. Yeah.
So in conclusion, for this question, Annie and Yam said that we can learn two languages at the same time, but we need to have dedication and put much more effort in learning those languages. But for me, yes, it's possible, but it's always better to learn one after another, because sometimes it can make you confused. So another question. This is not about English language, okay? It's about applying a scholarship. What are the important steps in applying a scholarship?
Maybe.
I thought your connection is better. You want to speak first? All right, let me start.
Should I answer first?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Let me talk first. Okay. Let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. For the first that you have to prepare is like competence, of course. Soft skill more. Like, what I can say is that language is also a part of very important elements that you have to prepare, no matter what department, no matter what major that you're going to take. But you have to decide, like, if you're going to go to China and then you really want to rely on English, then you have to sharpen your English. But then if you choose Chinese, then you have to focus on your Chinese. But way more than that, you have to prepare about what we call it. It's very common in my country, especially. Then when you get a interview section for a scholarship, they're gonna ask you about your experience towards, like, what is that, organization, like your working experience, organization experience, which in this case they are trying to measure your capacity. So out of language, like, really, language you can learn. We do learn language like English since maybe primary school and then junior high school. So by the time that you can learn anytime. But then capacity, it's like a personal capacity. It's very important that sometimes people just ignore it. People just focus on having a good academic score, like always get 9, always get 10, always get, oh my God, 10, always get 8 for every subject that you learn. No, that's kind of impossible. Like even Einstein only master in what is that, a science, not mastering in other field. So yeah, capacity building or personal capacity is very important that you have to, because it's also going to help you when you have to survive outside, when you have to survive in the country where you are going to study.
Okay, so Mimi?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to speak a bit about like the procedure of applying for the scholarship, because Zezia started from far away. Well, I agree with her.
But it's very important to
yeah, I
prepare
agree
it
with
since
that,
the beginning,
because yeah, if you're applying for a scholarship, you're not supposed to do it in just 1 month. You're supposed to start everything several years ago, because if you're trying to study abroad, especially, you need to develop skills, and developing skills is not an easy procedure. Like, you need a long time for that. Well, about applying for specific scholarships, each program has its peculiarities. You need to go check it first. But most of them, like, it's common to have application procedure first, and then that is followed by interview. And for some countries, it's a bit different. Like, for example, in Armenia, you are also expected to pass some exams. So it's very important to pay attention to the requirements of the program before you are trying to apply for it, not to be surprised or shocked later on. Because recently I was trying to apply for the scholarship to study for PhD in China. And at first I didn't know I'm expected to pass several exams right after before interview procedure, actually. And that was like something really uncomfortable for me and made me feel really frustrated. So I guess it's very important to initially know what you are expected to do and what skills and knowledge you are expected to have. We lost Jeje again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. So that's all.
Here she comes again.
She comes back.
Yeah, I come back again.
Good, I gave her the chance to speak first,
Yeah, both of you were right. I agree with both of you. At first, before we apply for the scholarship, we need to make sure that, as JJ said, we have competency required to be selected for the scholarship. And of course, we have to learn the procedures we need to apply for the scholarship. So I want to divide the procedure for applying the scholarship into 3 parts, like before, during, and after. Before, we need to acquire the skills, and during, we have to make sure everything is perfect. Like we have enough documents, we have all the documents they are asking, we have the skill, like the language skill, adaptability to the new environment or everything like that. And after is being patient. When you have applied, just wait patiently for the result to come out. Right? So 3 parts before,
Yeah.
during, and after. So next question is, okay, back to English again. Should we teach our children English from a very young age? If yes, at which age should they start learning a foreign language?
Who's gonna start, JJ?
Well, okay. I'm trying to find a best connection. But can you hear me very well, guys?
Yeah, we do.
All right, so let me talk. So it's kind of a dilemma that I have ever experienced when I was teaching preschool and kindergarten students in India. Like they don't speak English, and then their parents also do not speak English, and their teacher also like do not speak English only except only for vocabularies that they got at school. But I have to teach them English, and I didn't understand Thai at that time. But I have to speak English with them. I have to make them understand what I speak, and they have to, and then I also have to make them speak the same language like me, like in English. But then I try my best. It was so stressful. Like, can you imagine like they just speak Thai and I just speak English with them and they don't understand me at the first time. And then they were just a kid under 5, like 5, 4, and 3 years old, and was kind of in the room. There are around 20 students and they were like so super active. And but then yeah, that's why. But then I just try my best at that time, and that's possible. What makes it possible? I read an article about it that uh, it is it is true that there is a critical period that we call it as the golden period, as like in van, starting from in van until 7 years old is the golden age for a kid, to grow everything, like to improve their competencies, not only for language, but for everything. And English is included. So that's why I take the chance. And then I try to make the emphasizing using sign language. So if I speak something and they don't understand, I try to make them understand by using sign language. And they do understand what I say. And then by the time after around 4 months, they can finally speak English with me. But of course, like the level is different because they are just a kids. So the level of their language is the level of their English speaking is the same like my level of Thai speaking. So yeah, so we are like exchange language. So yeah, it's possible. But if we have kids at home, like have a daughter or a son, and you want to commit like to make your kids speak English at the same time speak your mother tongue as well, so you have to make like regular schedule, or to be have a strong commitment within yourself to speak English to your kids and also to speak your mother language to your kids at the same time, but with a good proportion. So then your kids can acquire both of the language.
Right. Okay. Meme?
Okay, so actually, it's a kind of painful topic for me because very often,
Painful.
yeah, it kind of is because I don't know, especially while working in
How
China.
painful is it?
JJ, keep quiet, let me talk. Yeah, especially while working in China. I don't know, you will see some students being 2.5 or even 3, and come on, they really are not ready yet. I mean, I have to accept that when like kids are more likely to acquire language easily than adults are, but there is some age that I don't know. I believe kids are supposed to stay at home, to play with friends, to get familiar with the environment, but not learn language, not in the classroom.
Okay. The point is that here, when you teach a kid to speak English, do not use your language to them, but you have to use their language to yourself. So we have to
Oh,
behave like a kid.
of course, that's right, but it's not about it. What I see is
Okay.
that what I see is that very often, I don't know, those kids that are 3 to 4 years old, they are really frustrated being in the classroom atmosphere. I have to say that. Because yes, you can start teaching them English, but it shouldn't be in the classroom. It can be like, I don't know, when they are playing, you can turn on English music for them to play under it so that they can listen to and acquire something, but not put them in the classroom and make them to see it for an hour. And I don't know, like, I'm totally against it. But I believe that maybe from the age of 5 to 6, you need to start teaching them language, because that's the best age for them, and they are really easy to acquire any kind of new knowledge. And yeah, but not earlier than that, because we don't want to put them out of their comfort zone, but we don't want to make them stressed. So yeah.
But yeah. What Mimi say about it is, I can understand, because when you put that kind of program in the class, so it's kind of difficult, because one teacher have to handle like 20 students with a very young age, under 5 or 5 years old, and it's not that easy, because I felt that. Maybe if someone really want to teach a very young age to acquire language, I means like 2 or 3 languages at the same time, or English as a foreign language to be acquired since a very young age, it means that should be there is a smaller class, not a big class. Like maybe 5 is the biggest, and then put experiential learning in the class. Not, do not bring teaching as the way we teach a primary, but we have to play with them, kind
Yeah,
of
that's
like that.
right.
And it's not that easy, because why? Because the curriculum demands us to do something else. Well, if parents support, then parents have the significant role in this case.
Yeah, but parents sometimes support. But the thing is, you as a teacher, you're supposed to understand the psychology of a child, because sometimes parents expect their children to be the best, right? But they don't understand that on the way of doing that, they might make the kids to be very stressed, and that's
Oh
really
my
not
God,
good.
I have experience about this. So I had a language course, kind of like that. You can call it like a language course. And then their parents come to me like, why don't I send my sons to study English with you, but their score at school it's still like 7. And why don't they get like 8 or 9? And I just say to their parents like this one, I don't make your son's score to be higher. I'm not that magic, I'm not like that. But what I'm doing to them is like, I'm giving them a skill. You can check. Maybe their friends can get 8 and 9, but they cannot speak English. But you can check your sons, they get only 7, but they understand if you ask them to speak English, like, the daily conversation. But yeah, it's a problem. The same in my country, it's a problem. Like, I don't know why. Parents in my country, they only measure their children's competence based on their score in the annual report that they got from school. But more than that, they need to know like the competence that the children have, like the real competence.
So,
Yeah,
so to
it's a
sum up,
painful topic, right?
So to sum up, the younger the children are, the better it is for them to learn new languages because there are starting ages for the children want that they can absorb all the new languages. So it's possible to learn the children language, and but don't put them in the typical classroom, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have to
yeah.
teach them in an informal way. We have to make many learning activities that they might enjoy. But why they are doing so, parents they should understand us.
Yes, yes, that's right.
That's our point. And JJ, in the comment section, someone called Sandy Grace is saying thank you to you.
Most welcome, most welcome. Like, because my connection is not really good. Like sometimes I come and out, and then come again and out and come again.
Maybe they say thank you because it's being very funny.
Oh, really? Am I a comedian?
So next question.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna be so famous there, and people
You
will
already
detect me.
You already are famous, JJ. So another question is, okay, thank you, Annie. Sandy Grace is saying thank you, Annie.
Well, most welcome. And we love JJ.
Again, this is the best part of our live session. JJ coming in and going out.
Yeah.
I come back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, before you lost your connection again, shall we move on to another question?
Okay.
Is there any tips to improve writing skill? Is there any tips
I think
that you
Mimi
want to
can
share?
answer.
Okay,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no, no,
start,
no. I
and
think.
then our expert, the research expert, will speak about it after me.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the question? What's the question? Sorry. I have just been out and then come back again.
It's about writing skills, like how we can develop the writing skills. I believe that the best way to develop writing skills, especially when it comes to academic writing, is probably do some academic reading, because most of the time when you read academic stuff, you can familiarize yourself with the academic language, and then that's going to be very helpful. And then also, getting kind of familiar with academic terms. So I think that's the key term. And then, of course, you can also try to read some quality stuff, like if you're trying to just write an essay, try to read essays that are considered to be good ones, and then you can just pay attention to the structure, I don't know, the terms used, the language, transition, and yeah, that's all. JJ?
You can start answering the question if you have a good connection now, JJ.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yes, research expert.
Okay. Okay. Because I have a problem with the, sounds problem here. So can you hear me like pretty clear? Huh? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Okay. Okay, like how to improve our writing skill. Mimi has already answered that we have to read. Besides, I just want to add, reading is one of the very important practice that we have to that we have to do when we would like to improve our other English skills, not only for writing actually, but it's also for other skills like speaking. Because by reading, you can get a lot more vocabularies. You will try to understand the context of a certain vocab that you don't understand based on the context in the text. And besides, what I should do to improve my writing skill is just start writing. If you never start, then you will never know, and then you will never ever improve your writing. So reading, start, repeat reading, and then start and repeat reading, and then start again.
Okay, she said and left.
So her point is just to start writing no matter what.
Yeah.
I come back.
Yeah. So do you want to add anything else to your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Please.
I cannot hear you guys very clearly. It's why like I'm trying to find the connection again. Like I don't know why I didn't move my phone at that time, but the connection just lost, and I hate it.
Okay. It's okay now. It's okay. The connection is good now.
Okay.
So, is there anything else that you want to add to your answer? Okay. Okay. She's gone again. Oh my
I
God.
think she doesn't.
So what you two were saying is that like you have to read. You have to
Yeah.
read
And
a
you have to
lot.
write.
Yeah, you
And
have
you
to
have
write.
to. Yeah.
We
That's
have
one.
those two skills in general, like receptive skills and productive skill. Writing is the productive skill. So if we want to produce something, we have to receive something first. That's why reading is also important for writing. That's your point, right?
Yeah. By the time you can, improve the level of your reading, the level of the reading text. Like for the first time, you don't need to force yourself to read something like very hard. Like you go directly for academic article, journal article. Oh, that's gonna be so crazy. Come on, don't take it. If you think that you have to understand first your English level. If your English level is still basic, just read the basic thing. Maybe comic, kind of like that, or maybe just a joke, or maybe just a very simple or short passage that you understand, and then you start writing something like can be related about it, or just write about yourself or your daily activity. Then after that you can go advance and advance, like little by little. But because it's very impossible, like maybe it's possible if you are really into writing and you demand, like you really want to acquire academic writing very fast, and then you force yourself to read a journal article, you're going to be crazy, like someone that I have ever forced to do that. So yeah, so yeah, it's gonna make you like why it's so hard? Why it's gonna be like this? I really want to. Oh my God, this is so. But then
So,
you have to believe that.
when I started learning English, the books I read were like Gingerbread Man, Red Riding
Yeah.
Hood. Yeah, those very easy books.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was 13 or 14 years old. The other student at my age, they can read really, really difficult ones. But I have to start with those easy stories.
Yeah, that's still okay. The main point is that it's not the start, the start that you did, but the process that you do like continuously. That's the main point. Even like let's say you started with the very basic reading text, but when you do it regularly and then you always keep upgrading your reading text, so it's gonna show it's like it's gonna result something a lot better than you start something with a very high and then after that you stop. No,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Concerning to what we were talking about, that is a new question. And he said, nice to meet you all. Thanks for sharing. I have a question here. To what extent do you believe reading connects with writing?
Yeah,
What extent? Okay.
I
So
think
while
we
you are
kind of already.
while you are answering the question, I will go switch on my light. So please.
Okay, so
okay, Mimi.
I think we kind of already answered that question, and I would like to agree with JJ that you need to pay attention to your level of English as well, because you don't want to make you stressed and disappointing by taking something that is a lot harder for you. So you need to like reasonably evaluate your skills, and then based on your own skills, take something that will match with the knowledge and the level that you have right now, and then based on that try to develop, like read and then develop your English writing skills, but of course trying to put your knowledge into experience. And the best way is, of course, as JJ has already mentioned, try to write and write more. It's good, yeah, JJ, you come back, because would leave me alone.
If not, you might be talking alone.
Yeah, talk to myself.
I think JJ is having fun with it, with her connection.
Yeah.
She's just having fun.
It seems like she enjoys a lot.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to answer until she's back?
Yeah. As we have mentioned before, reading connects a lot to the writing. So here she comes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Madam.
come again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. So
Okay.
We were kind of sad without you.
Is it my time to answer?
yes.
It's always your time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the elders. I'm the one who has a problem here with the connection. Thank you so much. All right. So when we are talking about receptive skills and productive skill, we always connect listening with speaking, and then reading with writing, right? Why it goes like that? Like it's very logic. When at first we learn our mother tongue, we can speak because we listen a lot, right? When we can speak, we cannot write at that time. We just speak, but we cannot write. We just speak, but we cannot read, right? You can see just your little sister or little kids at home. You can see it from them. So why it is like reading and writing, it's very integrated, because when you read a lot, you read more, you get more inspiration, you get more a lot context, you get more a lot topics to be improved in your writing. That's the key. Because written language and spoken language, it's kind of different. They have a different style when we have to talk. Even like for non-formal written language, they have a different style for non-formal spoken language. So that's why, like, the source for writing is from reading. The same thing.
So, if you ask me, I would say if you don't read, your writing will not have a good standard of English, because
Yeah.
if you don't read at all, we might be writing down the speaking, right?
Yeah.
If you want to make your writing to have a good standard of English, do read.
Yeah. And writing, it's not only about having a good grammar. Okay, when we talk about grammar structure, should be like correct. But correct grammar, it's not about like the structure or the pattern is correct. But sometimes we miss something, that the pattern is correct, but the context is not there. So we have to consider like the meaning between literal meaning and then contextual meaning. It comes to the semantic and pragmatic. We also have to understand the morphology, syntax, and kind of like that. But then it's okay. That's why to learn all of those elements that I mentioned, you're gonna get confused, right? If you have to learn one by one theory, we're gonna just waste of time. Only if you are really into linguistics, then you can go deeper and read more about the theories. But then when you are not really into the linguistic, then how is the fastest way to acquire the best writing skill? Is yes, by reading. It's just upgrading your reading text.
Right.
Yeah, and also besides, like, receptive skills are also always easier to obtain than the productive ones, and kind of receptive skills are becoming the main basics, based on which we create the productive skills. So like you will never start speaking until your listening skills are good, or you will never start writing well until your reading skills are, like you are able to read and understand, and then you will start writing yourself. So they are really interconnected.
Yeah. So I think he might satisfy with our answers to his question.
Okay, I hope it ends. It gives the answer for the questions.
I hope so too. So these are all the questions we got. I have my own questions to you. A very simple
All
question.
right.
No, I
To
want
me or
them.
to maybe?
To both of you. To both of you.
All right.
Basically, we have 4 skills, right? Which skill is the most challenging one for you?
I
Which
guess for
skill is?
everyone is speaking, because I don't know, like among the language learners, no matter what language they are learning, you will always see a lot of students who are kind of able to read and understand, also listen and understand. But when it comes to speaking, they all the time have the challenges experience, especially when they are trying to communicate with native speakers, because the pronunciation of the non-native teacher is a lot different from the native person. So we are kind of getting used to what our teacher speaks, and then when we are trying to communicate with a native speaker, it becomes a big challenge. And well, I believe that right now when I'm teaching, for example, I put the most important stress on the speaking skills and trying to practice the language, because I have noticed so far that all the students, no matter what language they are learning, they have the problem with speaking. So yeah.
Okay. Like for me, I'm gonna answer it. Like I agree, but not totally agree what Mimi says, because I have a different experience toward my way in learning English. For me, like the most challenging is still writing. Why? Like I think like okay, at that time I could write English, but then my English sentence or my English paragraph that I produce myself, like it doesn't look like the native text. It just grammatically correct based on the pattern, but contextually, and then how to bring the rhetorical inside of the paragraph, it's not like native like. That's why writing is the most challenging for me, because as long as I understand, like for me myself, like the first, it's not easy for me to acquire, I mean, like this kind of speaking accent, because in most, I think you guys know how Indonesians speak English in the class. Like they still bring their accents, like their vernacular accents, like because we have familiar tone like alphabets, but the sound is a bit different. Like we do not have in Japanese, for example, we do not have t, but we have do, do, bu, bu. I don't know. So that we call it like so very very plosive. So that's the way that I speak it. Then how to make myself like I'm not a native, then I would like to show my accents or my tone look like a native. I just can just simply listen maybe a song or watch a movie, and then I just can imitate them, and then bang, I get the point of how to speak like a native, even though like maybe not a very perfect one. But then when it comes to writing, when I would like to write like a native, wow, it's kind of hard for me. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah,
I need a lot more.
I have to agree with Jeja actually. She's right. Like writing is also very challenging. Probably the problem is
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know why in the 21st century, like especially with when you get adult students. From my experience, like most of them are trying to concentrate on speaking skills because they want to learn how to communicate, like when they travel, how to speak to the locals. But nobody wants to do like academic writing, right? That's why
Mhm.
probably I thought that speaking is really challenging for students because that's what most of them want to achieve. But I have to accept that writing, especially good writing, academically literate writing, is also very challenging for students, and not many of them achieve to that level. So generally, if we summarize, like the productive skills are a lot harder to
Yeah,
achieve than the
yeah, yeah,
receptive
yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah. I
I
agree with
agree
that.
with both of you, but sometimes it's not about the skill, you know. In my case, it's about my mentality. Like before, I enjoy writing a lot. I'm not saying that I can write really well. My writing
Mm-hmm.
is I have the academic writing skill. No, I don't mean that. I mean, I used to be an introvert. I don't want to talk a lot. But when it comes to writing, I'm very happy about it. Like in the exam, I might write the essay as long as I can, as much as I can. But when I have to talk, when I have to make a public speaking, I got nervous. So
Mm-hmm. Got it,
for
got it.
me, speaking is challenging for me. But this is what I used to be. I'm not introvert anymore. Okay, so
Hmm.
I
Maybe
changed
it's
I
the
changed my
problem.
mentality. Yeah. So I changed my mentality. I improved my personality, not to be an introvert anymore because I faced some difficulty when I was an introvert. Like I have many misunderstanding in the workplace. I don't know how to describe it. So speaking was very challenging for me. But within 2 years, within my stay in China for 2 years, my speaking improved a lot because I was talking with my friends all the time, literally all the time. I was talking to two of you. If not, I was talking to other friends like Azadeh, who has just come to our common box, Selma,
Yeah,
and
sharing
other
the same
friends.
experience.
Yeah,
Eh,
I was talking to a lot of them, so my speaking improved a lot, and I think I am no more an introvert now.
China
So
changes people.
yeah, a lot. So now we have Azo. Azo said, "You got nervous like me?" No, I've never seen him being nervous in the class. Did you?
No.
Huh? Guys, I feel like I live in the jungle. Like I'm trying to find the best connection.
So now, can you tell me a bit about your first memory of
Huh?
learning English?
Oh my God.
First,
Your first memory of learning English.
my first memory of learning English. What I learned first. Is that
What you learned first,
what you?
or what you experienced when you were learning English in the first place?
Honestly, I was kind of a victim of a very old teaching method. You know, okay, if because you teach English college, right? Like English for teaching, right? For
Yes.
your student. So let
Yeah.
me talk something about the teaching method theory. That in a very old
Okay. Please go again.
Yeah. Okay, let me go on until she's back, or she's back
Yes,
already.
she's back.
Okay.
you know, I feel like I am magic. Suddenly I can just disappear and then I appear again. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry for that. Okay, let me
Go ahead.
continue.
Go ahead.
So About my own experience in learning English, I do not say acquire, but it should be like learning because I made it, right? So I was a kind of the victim of the very old teaching method. If you guys know about DM, direct method, or GTM, grammar teaching method, it's a kind of teaching method that is very old, using
I
behaviorism
guess from
theories,
13th
which is like
century.
train. No, it's kind of very important, because people need to understand. And I hope no one use this kind of method again. No one, please do not use this teaching method again and over again and over again, because it's just gonna, like make your student get stressful. Because I was one of the victim of this kind of method. My teacher at that time taught me using this kind of two methods, like grammar teaching method and then direct method. What is grammar teaching method? Like your your teacher come to your class and then directly explain about tenses, and then tenses simple present is kind of blah 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 blah, and you have to use this pattern in your sentence. So it can be called as a simple present, and there are present progressive kind of like that, and blah 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 and so on. It just makes me stressful. And then it comes, there is a time that I did learn this pattern. I memorized all the pattern, but then after 2 or 3 years later, I was thinking like, oh my God, I remember the pattern at that time and now I didn't. And then what's the function of this old pattern? Why should I learn about present tense or present simple? And why should I learn about present progressive? I know that's the difference. It's that verb one and verb ing and then verb two and then verb three. But I don't understand. I don't catch the context. So how? Then, you know, like according to my own experience, that I never want to use these two methods. Then comes to, like, now we have contextual method, contextual teaching, learning. We have like CLIL, content language integrated learning. We have also experiential learning. Then those methods are more proper, more, what is that, suitable for students in this condition, especially when you teach language.
JJ, you got very sorry. Yeah, you got very useful advice about your connection from our lovely classmate. Pay attention to it.
Mhm.
Okay, Asetin is asking you to change your hat in order to get a better connection.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
she hears it. Did you hear? Did you hear what Annie said?
Like, your voice is like, huh?
She just said yes, yes, but she doesn't catch it.
Okay, in the comment box, Azo is telling you
Mm-hmm.
to change your head so that you will get a better connection.
Oh my God. Okay,
Finally.
later. This is the antenna that's going to be like to to collect to collect the signal so I can get a lot better connection. Should I open it?
Yeah, so maybe do you have,
Yeah,
do you want to answer? Yeah.
well, it's yeah, okay, let me try. So my memories in terms of studying English, oh, they are really not nice, because I started actually studying English when I was in high school, because before that I was studying French at school. So I had to change my school, so there was no French class, so I had to take the English one. And I had my, like, all possible people helping me out from that situation. And I don't know, like, they were trying different stuff. Like, if we were given a text to retell, I would have someone to write the whole text in an Armenian alphabet, but well, the sounds are different, right? So I would say that I got really horrible experience in terms of that, and I have to accept, like, right now the situation is a lot better in terms of language teaching, because there aren't many teachers who would use those old methods. Though, yeah, in public schools sometimes we do experience it, but I have to say that the situation is getting a lot better, and nowadays teachers are trying to, like, integrate technology into the classroom, which makes classroom a better environment for students. And I guess that memories of the current generation is going to be a lot better compared to us.
No, no, no. What I would like to add is that integration is the key. Not only about technology, but integrate, like, don't teach only grammar. Don't teach only a single receptive skill or a very single productive skill, but try to combine. Like, if we integrate, like, there is integrated teaching skill, we integrate listening with speaking, and then we integrate reading with writing, then it's going to be perfect. Because, yeah, due to my experience in teaching, those are perfect.
So yeah, give the children receptive skill, also create an environment where they can practice those skills for productive skill, right? So Jinjin, I think we have the same experience because we are almost at the same age. I was also the
Yeah.
victim of direct teaching method, translation method. I mean, my teachers were good. Their English was good. The only thing is they didn't know how to teach us, and the
Yes,
system didn't
yes.
allow system didn't allow them uh, to teach in the way that they wanted. And yeah, when I moved to a new school, I know grammar, I know present and I know past tense. My grammar skill is better than most of my classmates in the class of the new school. But when it comes to speaking to the foreigner, I was lost. I couldn't even say hello, how are you to the teacher. At this new school, we were taught by foreigners, like all the teachers were foreigners, even the local teachers, they taught in English. Uh, we were supposed to speak only in English in the classroom. But I couldn't even say hello, how are you? And I didn't know how to reply when somebody asked me, how are you? But that doesn't mean I didn't know English. I know English. My grammar is better than them. But the problem is, I
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
applied.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, I have never applied the skills. So
I think I think it's the problem when English is taught as a foreign language. Almost all the countries, like, so far, I read about the journal article research about TOEFL teaching English as a foreign language. Most of the teachers in those countries that use English as a foreign language, they just apply or use those kind of teaching method, grammar, translation method, and then direct method. It's due to the curriculum, because English as a foreign language is admitted in the curriculum. It's really different from English as a second language. When it is as a second language, it means that the English is used in the daily communication, right? But when it comes to a foreign language, no, 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 no. It doesn't use at all. Even, like, sometimes my teacher at that time when I was in middle and high school, they teach English, but they speak Bahasa Indonesia. Like, their explanation is using Bahasa Indonesia, right? I don't know, like, how do you experience your English class?
yeah, same. When I was young, teacher explained in Burmese, of course.
Yeah.
Same here.
And then Mimi?
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got a
yeah.
lack
That's
of
the problem.
translations in the
That's the
classroom.
problem of TOEFL, actually. That's the problem of TOEFL, means that everybody's like that. But it's
But
going to be different when we talk about TESOL.
actually, actually, the point is we have to teach English as a language, not as a subject, because English is
Yeah,
not a subject, it's a language, just like our own language, just like
yeah,
our
yeah,
native language is a language.
yeah.
And yeah, regarding to what we were talking about, we have a new question. Do we need to teach direct method to primary students? Is it good or
That
bad? Direct
I
method. We have
still,
mentioned
I
that.
still say, I still say no. Like, a very big no. Like,
Absolutely no.
believe me. Yeah, like, believe me, like, this is my own experience, all right? I was teaching primary students in Thailand, and then I didn't use that direct method because the problem is that they speak Thai, I don't speak Thai. I speak English, they don't speak English. Then I have to make them speak English. So what I do is that role playing, giving them experience, and then I always play with them. Most of the time, when I teach and comes to the class, like if I have 3 meetings with them, 2 meetings are playing, 1 meeting is only subject, like giving them exercise, doing something from their book, but the others is just playing. As long as they catch the word, as long as they understand the context of the word. Like when I say, can you hear me? What's the difference between hear, listen, and watch? And they catch it. And then when it happens, come on, they can do that, they can acquire. If you try to use direct method, as during teaching, you will feel like as if you do the best teaching to them, because you explain everything using your own mother language, maybe, or your national language, maybe, and you feel like you explain them everything and you feel like, oh, they understand, but actually you give nothing, believe me. But when you try to speak English as a language and use the English to explain to them, but of course your English language should be suited to their proficiency. I mean, like, to the student, to the primary student. Do not use advanced English for primary student. Come on, we just use like a very simple language, very simple English to the primary student based on their competency. It is gonna be hard for you for the first time. Like for me, when I experienced it, it was hard for me until 3-4 months. Can you imagine that? Like 3-4 months, I need to work like a dog, not a dogs, yeah. Because I
Okay, she's stuck.
She's stuck.
can finally speak English with you. Oh my God, I'm almost disappeared. I come back again. But when you feel, then after 4 months, and then I know that my student can speak English with me, or at least they finally understand what I say. Oh, that's very easy for the continuation.
So most of the teachers misunderstand that children will understand better if they are to be explained in the native language. But no, this is the misconcept. If you are teaching English, no, never explain them in
Yeah,
native
the key
language.
point is just to use a graded language to match the language you are using with the level of students. As Jieja has mentioned, like you can't use advanced level of English with beginner students, because it's just gonna cause more frustration among students. But if you try to do your best, like use some gestures or something, they will definitely be even happy to to recognize the fact that they can understand English, even like they can understand English and they don't need their mother language in the classroom. So yeah, I think that's something really, something that makes students really happy.
Yeah. But sometimes we need to take children out of comfort zone. I mean myself, I love comfort zone. I love to teach them in the zone that they feel comfortable at. But sometimes we shouldn't leave them with any option. Like speak only English in the classroom. It's better for them to improve their English. So, JJ, is everything okay with you?
Yeah. I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Uh,
You don't need to see us, it's fine.
So, no more questions, but if you have anything that you want to add, like if you have any tips for those who want to improve their English, please feel free to share.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
let me try.
we are come to an end of our live discussion. So JJ, we're gonna like just add some important tips that we want to share to those who
Okay.
want to improve their
Okay.
English.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mimi gonna speak.
I think for the language learners, the most important fact that they need to remember is that language learning is a quite long procedure, and you don't achieve it in a month or two, and you need to be patient and consistent towards your goals, because very often you see a lot of students who are not patient, who easily get disappointed, and I believe it's totally fine to get disappointed as long as you still keep pursuing your goal. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
Then I'm gonna add it like, yeah, I totally agree with what Mimi explains. And then one more thing that we have to know that English is not our. If we learn, it's not only English. For example, we learn other language that is not our own language. That is not our national language or our vernacular. So means that we becomes long life learner of the language. It means that we should learn more and more and more. Even like we become the teacher of that language, that foreign language, whether it is Chinese, whether it is Russian, whether it is Burmese for me, or Armenian language for me. That means that I need to learn the language for the whole of my life, because it's not my own language.
So
So yeah, keep learning. The tips is just keep learning. Keep learning.
so my tip for them is don't be shy of your English. Like for example, some people they don't want to say because they don't have confidence in their accent. You know. For example, three of us we have different accent, but as long as we understand each other, it's okay. We learn English just to communicate each other, not to impress other. That's my point.
Yeah. Because now English is a universal language. It's not like American language. It is not belongs to British. It is
British.
not belongs to yeah. It is not belongs to
Yeah.
Australian. But it belongs to universal. I mean, it's like it has already been announced and admitted as a universal language. So no matter what your accent is, no matter what your intonation is, as long as like you speak the language, if you can make it like a way close to the native language, then it's going to be better. But if you cannot, then it's okay, just do as you can do, just go straight.
So this is the end of our live discussion, and thank you, JJ Yams, and thank you, 小妹妹，我们的小妹妹 Annie, for sharing your experience, knowledge, and
You
everything.
laugh.
Why is she laughing?
I'm serious.
So
Okay.
we made this live discussion for those who cannot go to English class now, who are staying home because of coronavirus outbreak. I hope this live discussion.
Okay.
Someone calling me. I hope this
We
live
just
discussion is useful for them in some way, in one way or another.
okay.
Okay, so thank you very much to the both of you. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Good
I
night.
can leave. Good night. Good night.
Don't come back anymore, JJ. Bye, chào JJ.
Bye bye. Bye bye.